Hello everyone, welcome back to another chart breakdown of Gbpjpy. I'm also going to provide updates on what's happened this week so far. So I actually got into a trade on over here. I looked for buys. I saw my TP was up at into 2,500. I took a buy at the break of retest of these highs. We were tapping into 200 and price pushed all the way up. And when I saw some consolidation, especially when we're at a strong area of resistance, I wasn't really sure where price is going to rise up to and when it's going to drop. I knew anytime around here it's going to drop. So whenever I saw a sign of consolidation or rejections, I was willing to close my trade. I wasn't looking to take any more further risks of holding my trade. So I took around was it 1.5% off the table when my realized risk to reward should have been 2.5, but I just I wasn't feeling comfortable holding my trade with this consolidation going on. So what's happened right now is on the 4 hour time frame we can clearly see um price has obviously shifted to the downside. We pinched above these highs right here. It seems like there was a lots of stop losses here and lots of liquidity above this wick. Price engulfed back below, pulled back and has dropped all the way back down into this support. But what's very interesting to see is at this support right here, we could not close above these bodies. We tried once, but we couldn't. We tried against, but we couldn't. We tried again, but we could not break below those bodies. The sellers did not have enough strength to push us below those bodies. We couldn't break it for around 2, 3 days, half of this week in May. And now at the end of May, 6 days later, for 12 hours straight, we could not break below those bodies. We also had a huge prominent wick into this area of nice support, which is 199 psychological level. We had another tap, and we engulfed out of this area, which shows us there is lots of bullish momentum coming in right now. So I don't really want to be selling. It doesn't make sense for me to sell against this. Even though we're at a good strong area of support and a nice resistance, I don't want to be selling against this engulfing. I will feel comfortable selling when we break below this area and we can get a retest. We can potentially start looking for some sells. So my verdict is that since the daily is bullish, since the weekly is overall bullish, even in the daily time frame, it's going to close in 3 minutes. This daily candle, we can see a nice prominent wick to the downside. So I can go onto the 4 hour time frame and look for a break and a retest of this area for buys to the upside. Now we could either buy into this area here, or we can buy into this area of resistance here. We don't truly know where it's going to go, but for me, when I zoom out and I see the patterns that occurred, we had a double top here, we tapped into our moving average and we shifted up. What's going on right now? We're having some sort of double bottom here. We're tapping into our moving average so we could see flight to the upside. So for me, there's a higher probability of looking for buys. What I am going to look for is some sort of closure above this area, a retest on the lower time frame, a 30-minute engulfing into this area, and I will start looking for some buys. We can clearly see, that we have closed above this array of 199.600. If I go on the 30-minute time frame, I can see some high, low, high, low, high, low forming. I need some sort of break above this area so we can start looking for some buys. We can see there was an area of resistance. There was area of resistance. We broke above this area. We had a nice stab to the downside. We had another consolidation candle here, which shows us that we are kind of stalling in this area. For me to want to buy, I would want an engulfing candle. I would want to see some buying pressure come into the market for me to consider looking for some buys because this could do anything, right? This could do this, push up. So we don't know. That's why we can't just assume and just buy without our confirmation. We need to wait for our confirmation. We're still in the middle of this zone, so we haven't really broken above this zone yet. We need something like that, and then we can wait for that pullback into this zone for buys. That is that. In terms of US30, yeah, US30, we took a little entry here, since we're forward testing, and I literally just entered, was this, yeah, this was this Tuesday, right? It just feels like a long time ago for some reason. But Yeah, we closed it below this zone, and I put my stops above this area, and we took a nice 1 to 4 risk to reward. It was quite a simple trade because we are stepping to the downside, so it didn't make sense to me for looking for buys. I was just waiting for a break of this support. If you zoom out, you can see this is a very strong area of resistance, a resistance, a resistance, resistance, and a support. So I was waiting for any sort of break, and I put my stops above. Since momentum was so strong to the downside, I didn't wait for the retest because price has leaked, another leak occurred. So based off the market conditions, I took on more of an aggressive approach and I did not wait for that retest. In regards to NAS, what I was looking for on the daily time frame was so what actually happened was, yeah, when we were above what actually happened was we pushed above this area and I was waiting for, if you go on the hourly time frame, I was waiting for, a break and a retest and a push to the downside into these lows because we can see that we have a nice area of resistance and a resistance and we have this low. If you go on the 4 hour time frame, we could see a rejection into these lows. We respected it, and then we broke below. When we broke below, I wanted a pullback. I wanted a pullback into these highs and I was looking for an engulfing to sell to the downside. When you go on the 30-minute time frame, you can go and zoom out and you can see at this nice resistance we had an engulfing. I didn't look to enter there. I entered after this second engulfing. Yep, so we had two engulfings. We had a double top. We rejected this area twice. A nice tight entry with our stops at the daily area of support. And price smashed TP nicely. Gold, nothing going on really. Some sort of double top. We could potentially look for buys if we can break above this area and look to buy into there, but I'm not really interested in that. Not really interested in EJ, just monitoring it for now. But we can see we are respecting the downside. Um, we could, if we respect this area, we could potentially sell to the downside, but I would need breaks of 169.400 for me to actually start looking for some sells and look to put money in the market. In regards to EUR USD, if you look at my last breakdown, I said that we wanted price to break above these highs and pull back. But what actually happened is we had a nice doji to the upside. After I saw this doji, I switched my what's it called? My bias, and I switched it to the downside because after we saw a doji here, we absolutely leaked. We had a doji here, we had prominent wicks here. Around this area, it's been a very look, every time we had a prominent wick, we saw a move. So when I saw that prominent wick on the daily time frame, I thought there's a higher probability of us pushing down than pushing up. So what I waited for is for the 4 hour to come below this area of resistance. And yeah, resistance, a nice resistance here as well. And you can see resistance stems all the way up to here. So it's a very strong area, So when I go on the hourly time frame, I saw a double top, I believe. I saw an engulfing, and another engulfing. When I saw three engulfings, I said, yep, we are respecting this area. So there's a higher probability of us pushing down. And we've got a nice 1 to 2.44 risk to reward with our TPs right around this area of support. I hope that was informative, so I'm not really interested in what's going on with EU right now, even EJ, even gold. Nas already, it's just because I've got what I wanted out of the market, so I'm just focused on, GJ for now, because that's my main pair. That's the main pair I trade. The other ones I just forward test and see how I would go about the trade. So I'm not really putting money behind those trades right now, but I am putting money behind GJ. So yeah, this is what we want to see. If we get that, we will look for buys. If we don't, we'll leave it. We don't do anything because we're very bullish, I don't really want to take long-term sells. I don't know what the probability of that occurring is. So we will wait and see. Thank you very much. I hope that was very informative to you all, and I hope you all have a great weekend, which is coming very soon.